Gabrielle Lewis and Izaac Short here again from the Weird Sisters. Welcome back. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having us.
It took us a minute to get this in line. Everybody was sick. There was a snowstorm. There was a bunch of bullshit happening. But we did it. Here we are.
Oh, it goes all the way back to the snowstorm. Yeah, we have been trying to do this for a while. Yeah, we were busy at that point in time. We had a big band practice that day. We just all hung out in the house and practiced and ate sauerkraut and kibasi. Yeah.
As you would expect the Weird Sisters to do.
Yeah, very Northeast.
Yes, indeed. Who are the Weird Sisters? The new record out now, streaming everywhere. It's a very different record for you guys.
Yes.
I think it's not that different. I think we finally just captured what it is in a way. It's different compared to some of the other stuff that we've put out, but I think we've arrived somewhere with our production and like capturing what the essence of this project really is.
I was recently over at Michael Fahey's studio, Starbird Sound, and he played the live recording from the Vinyl Lounge show.
Yeah.
He played the first two tracks from the record, Bells and Ultraviolet. Well, it's technically the second and third track, but he said that he feels like back-to-back, those are the two best songs that represent what the Weird Sisters are.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were actually over there all day yesterday.
Yeah, we were mixing the record, the live record.
Yeah, working on the live record. So that's pretty much done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit scary.
Why is it scary?
I didn't know. Like, we're always playing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really know we sounded like that.
What do you mean?
Well, you don't know how you sound. Like, you know how you sound in your own mix. Like, in our case, we have ears, so we hear that. But it's not the same as actually like,
being out in the audience.
Yeah, and also having the ability to hear all the tracks and then mixing on them and getting everything like how you'd have a really good front of house mix. It's kind of the equivalent of that, but just for an actual like record.
Well, the show was fantastic. I had a great time.
So did we.
Yeah, it was cool. By the way, when I talked to you guys about the show beforehand, I said, are you going to play Texas Toast? I believe you guys told me no.
Yeah, we decided yes because we might be sick of playing it, but a lot of people enjoy that song.
They're not. No one's sick of hearing it. I love it.
Well, I guess we got to keep doing it.
Yeah, I think we go into every show thinking like, yeah, we're not going to play that song, and then kind of depending on the night, like if we just need to, because we were coming out of this song called "The Lazarus Pit" in the set, and we were going to play kind of like a B-side from the new record. We were going to play the song "Gone," and we had it rehearsed, and it was sounding great, but just kind of in like the hierarchy of the set, like it just needed that shot of energy, and it's a really cool, arrow to have in your quiver, to have a song like that,
Keep it in your back pocket.
Yeah, where you just pull it out and just be like, okay, Energy Town, and just like everyone's like, woo.
It's like when the Stones play Satisfaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
I guess that's our satisfaction.
Well, Danny and I, we had talked about it because I told them, I was like, the Weird Sister told me they weren't going to play Texas Toast, and they did. And we had chatted about it, and we were both glad that you had decided to play it.
It was fun at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, for a long time, that song's like been our top played song on like Spotify and other things, and not that we're sick of it or sick of playing it, but it's we've been associated with like that. A lot of people I think have like heard that song and be like, oh, that's what the Weird Sisters do, and that's like something that we did a very long time ago. Like the recording itself was recorded in our garage at the Graycroft. But I don't know. There's
definitely raw.
That's not the only. It's not our only sonic, deal.
Well,
it gets summed up that way sometimes.
You just were talking a minute ago about how, like when I said that the record is different, it's like a different sound for you guys, and you said that it's like you finally figured out how to work it in a little bit. I do remember you guys playing me songs that are kind of similar to the new record at the Graycroft all the way back then. And you were saying basically you didn't know how to make them like Weird Sister songs.
Well, didn't know how to play them live. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
But also, I think the record is interesting because there are songs that we've had on the back burner for years that we've just kind of been working on here and there. Those are on the record. Then we have ones that, you know, we just wrote like in the last 6 to 12 months that are brand new. And then there's ones that are actually, I don't even know.
We just been playing live for a
Yeah.
long time too. Like, probably in back in the day, like we probably played you Bells. We probably played you Dudes of Dimension and Waiting So Long. Like, because those songs are just really old. We probably recorded those back in like 2018 or something.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then they just sat there.
Yeah, and there's just like 2 examples of like 80 songs that are just sitting on a hard drive in Pro Tools right now.
Yeah.
Just waiting to be finished and, you know, waiting to be part of the right project, because we really buckled down and decided to make this album. We had to make spreadsheets and stuff because there was just so much music that we've recorded over the years, and we wanted to pull from some of that, record some new stuff, and kind of make like we knew if we went and made another rock and roll record, then all of a sudden we might get slotted as a rock and roll band. Or if we went ahead and made a Dance Commander record, we could be slotted. It's like, oh, they're doing that now. And we really just don't want to ever be slotted or, you know, feel like everyone's figured it out. We just always want to have like the option to make whatever type of music in any genre that we want to, explore different production techniques. Not that anyone's opinion matters, but sometimes that can limit your opportunities.
Yeah, well, what I love about the whole record, it kind of floats along. You know, it feels like
It flows.
yeah, it feels like an interplanetary monorail system.
Well, okay, so a lot of the songs, for instance, like Dudes in Dimension, Waiting So Long, and Turn the Music Up in Shirley were all one Pro Tools project. Like, we wrote the first song, recorded it, and then it was like whatever was left over kind of became this like the second song. And it's just, as you're recording stuff, sometimes like a song will just pop up on the beat, like the second half for us, and that just happened over and over and over again. So all 4 of those songs like were derivative of like, you know, they're all on the same Pro Tools project. So eventually we had to like split it up, but they already all flowed together. There's actually a 5th song that kind of lived in between those, but called Brooklyn, but we couldn't.
It didn't make it.
We really couldn't get it together. We
Didn't make the cut.
Yeah, we just kind of hit a wall on that one. It was like, yeah, we'll chop the middle out of that. But it was almost like an interlude, like a 8 or 9 minute interlude. It was almost like a small album unto itself. So we just kind of tucked it in the middle of the record.
Well, let's play Bells.
to the ones who are grateful for less. Take what you find, but leave what you can for the rest. I'm walking away.
Gabby and Isaac are back at it again.
Okay, and we're back. Back with the Weird
That
Sisters.
was real quick.
What'd you think, guys? You like that?
What did you like? When did Bells come into existence?
Like 2018?
2017, 2018 was one of the first songs that we did with Pro Tools because a lot of our like real first early recordings we were using like hard disk recorders, and we didn't have a substantial computer or an interface or anything. So we eventually kind of sold our souls and got a Pro Tools rig and a little interface. And that song's interesting because we were just kind of making beats, and I think that we had reversed a bell pattern that was
It's bells on the Virtual Steven.
yeah, it's bells on like we got this Yamaha Virtual Steven. It's this weird keyboard that we use
Yeah,
sometimes.
we call it that.
little sampler, but we
So
took,
the bells were reversed.
but they were
and then
sampled
you
from another
looped
song that we wrote. Travel so far.
Oh, that one.
Don't know where you are. Yeah, we put bells in the outro of that song, and I took the bells and I reversed them to hear what they sounded like. I was like, oh, that's cool. And we brought them into their own Pro Tools project, and then kind of did a loop and built a beat around it, which was cool.
I really love the lyrics for that song. My favorite lyric on that song is "I'm fingering the safety, and I'm walking away."
Yeah.
Like it reminds me of Star Wars whenever they're like set your phasers from stun to kill. It reminds me of Han Solo sitting in the bar with Greedo, getting ready to shoot him under the table. You know,
Hell yeah, man.
Han shot first.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I have I have VHS tapes proving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before George Lucas went back and edited everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the process like for actually picking out the songs that were gonna go on the record?
So we basically went through everything that was on the hard drive and, like Isaac was saying, organized it in a way that made sense. So a spreadsheet, and we would listen through everything, and if we thought it was a contender, we would flag it, and then we would go through again and basically just keep honing it down. It was originally supposed to be, how many songs were supposed to be on it?
It's the actual spreadsheet was like over 80 songs.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, but then we probably pared that down to around like 30, and then it became 20,
And then
and
it became
I think it was gonna be 16 to 18, and then we
Ended
up,
on 14.
Yeah, we ended up getting it down to 14.
It's really 13 because the first song is kind of,
Yeah.
it's more of a vibe setter than an actual
Well, it's
song.
like fucking what's his name did Steve Miller Band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did that a lot on his records too. But I guess back in the day, it was due to publishing. He was able to get extra money for dividing the songs up. You know, when people still bought records, still bought
Oh.
albums. So I don't know how that what exactly it was, but it was something. Danny, can you look that up?
Yeah.
Steve Miller splitting up songs because he'll have like the extended intros on like Fly Like an Eagle, and there's a couple other ones that are like that.
Yeah. I think Book of Dreams opens that way, and interesting. Yeah, that's why we did it for the publishing.
Yeah, man, you got us there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my like half of a percentage of a penny or something. Yeah. I'm trying to send Gabrielle to college.
Yeah, I need education.
Yeah, but it was kind of hard to choose because we had so many of these songs. But Bells, since the moment we recorded it, we were like, oh, this is gonna be the first song on our next record. And we didn't realize how long it was gonna take us to make a next record. But the fact that like it's still because you pick up a song, you put it down after years, and the whole song structure was there. But then really after this, the second chorus, that whole section, Gabrielle just kind of like came up with some really crazy stuff, like the 808s and the breakdown and all the reverse piano, like that. And her singing, that just all fell out of her pretty much like in an evening. Like we just sat there and worked on it for probably 6 hours or something, and when we walked away, it was like that's the end of the song right there.
Well, there's new sounds compared to the first record, and people who had, if they saw you live before you did this whole changeover with all the drum machines and all of that stuff, when did the drum machines start to come into the picture?
That happened after a trip we took to New York City in August of 2022. Isaac had never been. I'd been many times. Half my family's from there. So I wanted to take him, and I didn't know if he'd like it. I really didn't. Didn't know if it would be his vibe. And he just was like a fish in water. Like a fish in water for the first time, if that makes sense. He loved it. And we just... I don't even know.
Yeah, we
discovered
pretty big
electronic
week. Yeah.
music, dance music, which is something I already kind of knew about, but he didn't really listen to much of that, like EDM or electronica. And then when we came back to Nashville, this is very abridged, but came back to Nashville and essentially realized we didn't want to play anything that we were currently playing. We didn't like our sound. We were bored. Canceled a bunch of shows we had on the books, bought the drum machine, and then the Dance Commanders were born. So
how much experimentation was happening kind of during that time period?
Honestly, like not as much as like looking back on it, not that much. It was just kind of we got a drum machine and we were like, yeah, this is great. And we hooked it up with our sequencer and just started making these grooves. And we didn't really do too much more than that. We had a gig booked down in Manchester at this brewery, and they were paying us like a decent pile of money to like play for 3-4 hours or something like that. And we probably had maybe 2 hours of material already like rehearsed, just live band stuff. So we kind of interspersed a little bit of that, but we had maybe 8 or 9 patterns that we had come up with in a week. Just haven't got the drum machine, and we just blasted it through the monitors, and we all jammed along to it and improvised for 3 hours, 4 hours down there. I recorded it on my phone. It's one of the most wild sets we've ever played.
People did not know what to do because this is like more country.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It's like,
for sure.
and they're not. I mean, I think they're used to cover bands or whatever, and.
But even then, they were dancing. They're like, "Oh, I kind of like this techno music."
Yeah, they liked it.
Yeah, it was wild.
But that was the first time we ever did anything like that live.
Yeah, and I mean, it really, like all the stuff was there. I think we were doing "Come On Spaceship," and I'm just babbling over it, top of it with our vocoder, like through the whole set too, just saying crazy shit just through the vocoder, just like dance party.
Because the songs weren't written yet.
Ligamentation, like you could just everything you say sounds cool through the vocoder, and that's kind of half the fun of that style of music too. Is like it doesn't have to be it doesn't take itself seriously, even if you are like saying some cool shit through the vocoder. Like just even the vibe of it doesn't take itself seriously. Doesn't feel pretentious to do. It doesn't feel pretentious to hear. It's just fun.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Because I had not seen you guys play live since I had played with you at the Dive Motel.
Yeah.
So it was like a
Wow.
night and day difference. And of course, like the Vinyl Lounge show, as we talked about earlier, was amazing. It was sold out, right?
Yeah.
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 And there was a lot of people that were there, and there was people like normally when I go to a Weird Sister show, I mostly recognize everyone there. I saw a lot of our friends, but there was a lot of people there. I had no idea who they were.
A lot of people there. I had no idea
Yeah,
who
me
they
too.
were. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's-
Something's happening.
Yeah, that's what kind of blew me away. Where I was like, damn, okay, things are moving along for them now.
That was a crazy night. Yeah, just to kind of say the least about it. Like, we're really grateful that went off without a hitch, and so many people just give a shit that we like about our music. But that was a good fucking party.
Yeah.
I think my biggest moment of shock was just looking out into the crowd and seeing people crowd surfing during this, well, that in general, but one song we have called The Lazarus Pit. It's going to be on the next record. That is not a song people would ever crowd surf to. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Isaac?
no, it's
Like,
a very unlikely choice.
it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah, I
just
think-
looking out there.
It's like
Like,
80
I couldn't
BPM.
believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like you really don't know how people are gonna respond to certain things, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, we just knew whenever we were kind of like finding that style that we were really tired of, like, we go and see a rock and roll band, and if they were crushing it, best case scenario, we're like standing there in the back, like total jaded Nashville bullshit, and just being like, wow, man, they're really going there. And going up to New York for the first time, it was like we just danced with reckless abandon in just ways that I can't even explain or describe. And it was like, oh,
Ways musicians don't dance.
this is what I want to like,
Nerdy ones.
like this is the vibe I want to contribute to. Like, if I go out, like, I want to feel so moved by what's going on that like I got to dance about it or something, and I want to provide that for other people too. So we started trying to find that in ourselves, I think, and like I think we're still trying to find more of it, because it does seem like a bottomless bottom to some degree. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Let's play Secret Sensation next. Danny, were you able to find the Steve Miller thing?
So, not specifically what you were talking about. I've actually been reading a decent amount about it, but basically he had a very particular way of going about recording, and it did kind of involve taking sometimes other songs, like multiple songs, and then like condensing them down. What I'm mostly reading about is he was like really big on having like 5 hooks and like, you know, not even like the first half of the song. Like he was like crazy about like adding hooks, but I haven't been able to find anything about what you were saying, like him breaking up his songs or anything like
For
that.
publishing, yeah.
Yeah.
You know who his godfather is?
Mm-mm.
Les Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I love Steve Miller, man. I know that Fly Like an Eagle record. Somehow Paul McCartney is very involved in that. He played on under like a pseudonym or something. Like
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
wrote some of the songs. Yeah, and if you listen to like how all the vocal harmonies and melodies work on that album, I really like that album. It's just it kind of makes sense that it has a Beatles touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Have you guys heard the AI like Beatles song? The last Beatles song?
Yes. Yeah, I've heard it.
I didn't.
I didn't really like it, to be honest.
I didn't know about all the AI shit until like after the fact. Like, so basically what they did was like separate John Lennon's vocal from like a demo, and they were able to kind of like construct a Beatles song out of it. Like, cause didn't George Harrison had played to the demo or something?
I'm not
I don't know
sure. It featured all 4 Beatles. That's
Yeah.
all I know.
I thought the song was great. Like as a song, I was like, man, this is a good song.
Yeah.
Wait, but was the song like? Did AI use existing parameters or information to make the song, or did AI the program actually like pull from their catalog and make a song
So
itself?
what the AI did was there was a demo of John singing and playing like piano, and they pulled his vocals off of that.
Oh.
And then I think what they did was they built the rest of the song around that pulled vocal.
Mm-hmm.
And they put it on like the re-release. I think it was of like one of the compilations, either the Red Album or the Blue Album or something like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I liked it. And then I found about all the AI stuff, and I was like, okay, it's kind of questionable, but I don't know. I listened to your episode with Gordon Raphael, and it was like I tend to agree because I have tried to use some of those like more like AI based like plugins that will allow you to do that, and like even just like take like distortion out of like or like a signal buzz out of out of a piece of audio, and it always ends up making it sound like worse than if like than if it was defected or something.
Yeah.
It would almost rather have like it not sound good rather than sound like warped and rubbery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, well, there's something. It sounds like melted plastic a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it like that Beatles song on a good set of speakers. Admittedly, I just listened to it like through my phone just to get it in my head. And I was like, oh yeah, man, it's a good John Lennon song, you know.
Yeah.
Before anything else.
It feels weird when you're listening to it though. I think just the AI stuff in general. What I like about the AI thing is I like hearing like a Frank Sinatra do a 50 Cent song. I think that shit's cool as
You
fuck.
like that shit?
I like it, dude.
I'm really behind.
Yeah.
I don't know about any of this shit.
Yeah, so it's just like little clips that they'll have, or they'll have, there's one that's Life is a Highway, and they'll have Michael Jackson sing a few lines, and then Elvis sing a few lines, and Freddie Mercury sing a few lines, and it's like right now, it's like okay, you can still tell that it's AI, but I'm wondering if eventually we're gonna hit a point to where we can't
Oh, definitely.
tell the difference.
That will
Yeah,
happen.
for sure.
That will happen.
But I mean, I don't really want to hear Michael Jackson sing anything, so it's just my humble opinion.
What about Rock With You though? That's a great song, right? Do you like Rock With You?
Yeah, no, I mean, like Off the Wall and Thriller are arguably like 2 of the greatest records ever because of Quincy Jones.
Burn This Disco Out.
Yeah, like Michael Jackson, like he's all right, but I don't think he's that talented or anything. I think he's a great dancer.
I think he's got a great voice.
I'm not a fan of his voice necessarily.
Really?
But that's kind of like a personal preference.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I think he gets way too much credit for, you know, having a lot of great, like, worked with a lot of really great people that made that music possible.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's a clip of Eddie Van Halen talking about Beat It, and kind of his role in playing guitar on that. And he said that he went into the studio because I guess Quincy Jones had asked Eddie to play on the song.
Didn't he do it for free?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did it for free, and he kind of reorganized the song too a little bit.
Yeah, he rearranged like almost
Yeah.
the whole thing.
So
yeah.
he did more than just come in and rip a solo.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. You know?
But I feel like I have heard that a lot about Michael Jackson, where it's like he put the right people together in the room, you know?
I don't know if he did. I think Quincy Jones did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
shit.
Quincy Jones. Yeah, it's Quincy Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Quincy Jones is fantastic, dude. He's one of
Yeah.
the greatest producers of all time.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, you know, not that you know, I think Michael Jackson did write a couple of those songs, but I don't know, man. There's just so much creepy shit going on there. Like I can't sit here and pretend like I'm not in enough to the art to forgive the artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel you.
It's
I
like-
feel you.
Yeah, because if you take somebody like, you know, Nile Rodgers, it's like, okay, Michael Jackson made one great funky disco record, like, you know, two arguably, but you know, if you look at like Nile Rodgers and Chic, it's like,
He made several.
dude, yeah, he made like hundreds. Yeah, he was, you know, he produced all the Sister Sledge stuff and like
He did Let's Dance by David Bowie too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he got Stevie Ray Vaughan to play guitar on
Yeah,
that shit. Like,
Totally. On China Girl, right?
yeah,
That's an Iggy Pop song. Did you know that?
I had no idea. That
Yeah.
really?
Mm-mm.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
so it's an Iggy Pop song from when Bowie was working with Iggy Pop on his first solo record, The Idiot. That honestly, you should check out that record. I think you would really like The Idiot a lot.
Yeah,
It has
I'll check
Sister
it out.
Midnight on there and Night Clubbing. Those are like Izaac classics. You would fucking love that shit.
Okay, yeah, I'll check him out.
Yeah, check it out. I think you would be really into it. Let's do Dudes of Dimension. I think that's next, right?
Wait, are we
Yeah.
supposed to talk about Secret Sensation, or we were supposed to?
Oh,
listen
I
to
mean,
it?
we can talk about it. Yeah.
I just making sure. Like,
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Secret Sensation?
It's a silly song. You know, I got a secret sensation. I got it bad. I mean, the reason the song is cool is because I think the instruments that are playing and the arrangement,
Yeah, just funky ass jam.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is
more
that
or
all
less.
you want to say?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything to add to that. Yeah.
I will say it is some of my personal favorite synth work that I'm pleased with on that song.
What synths did you use on that song?
Well, I mean, I'm mainly referencing the my Moog Subsequent 37. I did a synth solo towards the end of the song, and I had a lot of fun with that.
No, but you played Model D on it too.
I did,
Yeah,
yeah,
because the outro is like it becomes Party On.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so all the synth bass work on that is like with the mini Moog. So
hmm I guess that's all.
yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of synthesizers in that song.
Gabby, how
Yeah.
do you with the synth bass stuff? How do you, now that you guys have a bass player live, how do you kind of balance that?
I don't really play synth bass anymore. There's a couple songs that I do, but Robert is the kind of bass player that he will kind of play around whatever I'm playing and just kind of fit into the into the fabric, which is really awesome. But I'm not doing it as much anymore because I have freedom now to play other parts, do more melody and harmony things.
Yeah, well, you're not so focused on holding down that low end anymore
Yeah, I was.
because you
I
were
was
the groove for a
necessary.
long time in the Weird Sisters.
My left hand.
Yeah.
And then my right hand would play melody and harmony on the other keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can just kind of do whatever, which is fun.
When you play synth bass, what kind of synth are you using? Is that the Moog?
Yeah. It's the Subsequent 37 because it can get pretty beefy.
It can.
It can. So that's mainly what I use when I do that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here now here is Dudes of Dimension.
Hello.
Something going on up ahead. So anyway, I talked to Joe and said, come on in on Monday. We'll get paperwork started. You know, we're in the middle of a pay period. So, it's like a 2-week thing. Yeah. Guitar, whatever. But I told you, and he knows that I'd love to have you. So.
Okay, and we're back. Dudes of Dimension, how did this song come into existence?
Well, you should start from the beginning.
Well,
Like the actual beginning of the song.
Yeah, Dudes of Dimension's a weird one. It's just kind of Dudes of Dimension waiting so long is like I said earlier, it's part of like this more. It was a big long Pro Tools project that I think we started working on like in 2018, and but the real silly part about the song is like, yeah, we sat there and we recorded the whole thing. Gabby did the 808s, and it was just kind of like this. It's just a crazy groove. We really didn't know what to do with it. It's kind of like this crazy intro, and then it drops into Waiting So Long, which are just completely different sounding songs. I don't know how really one became the other, or even have too much of a memory recording it. Just a lot of reverse stuff, and but while I was tracking the vocals, I just
For Dudes of Dimension.
for Dudes of Dimension, yeah, I had this really shitty mixer with a built-in spring reverb, and I was trying to get it to work, and it kind of sounded like like an intercom or something, like Scientist of Sound, the Wizard of Groove.
Like a
Yeah.
school PA system.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went through there and just kind of improvised like those lines. I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool, but I wanted to give it a little more clarity. So I went through and I was recording like Scientist of Sound with like a nice microphone, simultaneously to double it. And as I was doing that, I get a phone call, and had this guy. It was I was pretty broke last summer, and I'm trying to make some money, and I was kind of begging this dude for a job in one of these production warehouses around here. We finally calls him and he offers me the job, and I've been buttering him up, and so he called me while I happened to be recording vocals, and I'm like, oh fuck. And I answer, and he's like, and that's the guy at the beginning of the track. I was like, so I'll talk to Joe, and he offers me the job. And
It's very Weird Sisters.
yeah, and so I get done talking to him, and like even like that original recording, I'm like, I hang up the phone, I'm like, I don't even want that job. Oh my god. And then I took that and I took that and I sampled it, and I put it in the beginning of the song. But I ended up like 2 days later getting a better job offer to go work with Johnny, and it was only for a week, but it was better money, and I needed the cash, and I called him, and I broke his heart, and this dude flipped out on me. Like, he was sending me, like, texts,
This
like,
long,
Declaration of Independences, dude. It was he just blowing me up. You're never going to amount to anything. Like, how dare you? Like, we really need you over
And
here.
it's like, yo, this is a $20 an hour, like, warehouse job. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
I felt bad because he was a really nice guy, and I had buttered him up. I was like, man, I'm gonna be here till the day I die. Like, I'll be here. Yeah, I'll work overnight. I'll do anything.
So
like,
did you call him and was like, yo, actually, I don't want the job?
Yeah, I was like, no, I can't do it.
No,
No,
you
he had
didn't
even
call
texted me
him.
like
You
he
texted
was
him,
like my first day was gonna be Monday. He was like, we need you to come in 2 hours early. It's gonna be a crazy day, and I'm like, I got you. And I waited until like the night before, and I called him. I was like, hey man, I can't.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Yeah. And he just
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, he just lost his mind. So fuck that guy. He's on the record now.
I did that to what's it called? To fucking I can't remember what is Danny, what is one of the production companies? It's not Rhino, but it's the other one with all the crackheads.
Crew 1.
Crew One. Yeah, yeah. So Crew One, I was supposed to work some fucking show for them, and I ended up, I can't remember what it was, but I was either recording or I had something going on that was music related, and I called them like 2 days before, and I was like, hey, I can't do this. And they gave me so much shit. They were just like, why can't you do it? And I was like, I got a recording session. And they were like, well, like call whoever it is that you have the recording session and tell them that you have prior commitments and you can't make it and they'll respect you. And I said, no, they won't.
How about you fuck off and stop telling me what to do?
Yeah. Well, I said to him, I said,
What
if this, and I was just throwing this out here. I said, what would you tell me to say if it was the Black Keys or some shit like that? And he's like, we would have a conversation about it then. And I was just like, I'm not showing up. Straight up. I just told him I'm not showing up. I'm not doing it. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Don't want to do it now, especially that you're acting this way. And all the best to you. And they're like, you won't be eligible for rehire. I said, that's fine.
No problem.
It's fine. Yeah.
I don't know where this sense of entitlement comes from so many of these companies and people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, UPS was like that when I worked for them. I'm a good employee, man. Like
I am too.
I'm
honestly.
on time. I work my ass off for anybody for no money as long as you treat me well. And that's in the second I feel it was really out of character for me to just like bail on that job.
Yes,
I've
it
never
was.
really done that before.
I
but,
honestly agree with that.
yeah, but I mean, you know, there's only been one other time where I've walked off a job, you know, just like, oh yeah, I'm not working for you, right? Yeah, I just lost respect for it immediately. I lost all my respect and left.
What job was it? Can you say?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that the shit castle?
No, it wasn't Shit Castle. Yeah, Shit Castle was honestly a bad job too. I at least called
You've
them
had
and
some
explained
of
the situation.
the worst jobs.
This
So
job in
have
particular, I was working for this guy down in Franklin, dude, and I don't know how to even describe this guy other than he was just like large, in charge, mean, and just up your ass constantly. And it was like a framing job, so we'd be doing like bathrooms and kitchens, which I didn't like immediately just because of you're just busting tile with a sledgehammer. It was like, even with earplugs, man, it's just so loud.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I can't do this too long. But I get to like day 3, and it was, instead of like doing demo work or rebuilding anything, like we had to go do deliveries. So we get this box truck and we load it up, and we had to take like this cabinet, and the cabinet itself must have been somewhere between like 600 and 800 pounds. And we had to, me and this other guy had to carry it into this dude's house.
Jesus.
And so we go into the guy's house to deliver it, and we move all his, and it's down in Belmead, you know, like, you know how rich people are with that big heavy furniture. It's like we move his like kitchen table around. It's 500 pounds. We move his cabinet for his pantry out of there just so we can get this thing in. So as we get it out of the truck somehow, and we're both just taking, like, inching it and lifting it. We didn't have a dolly. We didn't have anything. And I'm already like miffed because it's like, why were we not provided with the tools to move something of this magnitude? And there were 2 of them.
Yeah.
So we get the first one up there, and it's laying on the steps. There's maybe 5 steps going up to the house. And I watch this guy, and he's maybe like in his 40s. He's, you know, older than me. And he's lifting it up on the back end. And I just hear this like, and I look over, and his whole arm pulled out of his socket.
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
he dislocated his shoulder, and he screams, you know, he goes, ah! He goes, shit, not again. Fuck. And he pops it back into place, dude. And he just, like, he walks it off, smokes a cigarette, and, like, and like, he just, like, you could tell he's just trying not to freak out. And then he drinks a Dr. Pepper. He lets out a big burp, and he's like, all right, let's do this. And, like, we move it again, and he pulled his arm out of place, like, another, like, 2 times. And whatever, like, we got the job done. I stayed with him all day because, you know, I was in a box truck with this angry man. And we get back to the thing, and I'm explaining to my boss, I was like, you know, he like ripped the arm out of his socket today. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. And he was like, well, did you get the job done? You know, kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't give a shit about us. I was like, yeah, I ain't coming back tomorrow. I just smiled, shook his hand, and I said, I'll see you tomorrow. And I never went back.
It feels good to fuck a shitty job like that. It feels satisfying because it's like, no place, everyone's like, you always have to give 2 weeks. You always have to give 2 weeks. But no job will ever give you 2 weeks if they're going to fire you.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
No, you got to get your shit out, and that's that.
Yeah, you got to fuck off now.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I worked at a movie theater?
No, I can't imagine you working in a movie.
So I only worked there maybe like a month, if even that. It was this place called the Nordica, and it was in Freeport, Maine. And this was around the time that Twilight New Moon had come out, and the theater was just opening. This might have honestly been on my birthday that I had to work because we had midnight screenings and I was there for it. And of course, like Twilight was such a fucking sensation when it came out with teen girls and moms as well. But yeah, I can't remember why I quit that job, but I just remembered I didn't want to do it, and I was scheduled for a shift, and I went in, and I just went into the manager's office, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this job anymore. I'm not going to be able to work here. I can't remember where else I was working at the time because I quit and I actually had something else lined up. I used to work at Staples. Did I ever tell you about that?
You worked at oh god.
Yeah, I worked at Staples.
Corporate, baby.
And that was when I had just got back to Maine from Colorado. So this was post Colorado, and at first, it was like right at the back to school time, which is the busiest time of year for Staples. Everybody needs their fucking school supplies and all that bullshit. So I was working as like a stock boy, pretty much. And I hated it because it's like you had to look at all these tiny numbers and put things on the right spot on the shelves. And my brain just didn't have the capacity to do that at the age of 23 or 22, however old I was.
No, that's like jobs for people that got hit on the head by a coconut or something.
Yeah.
Like you can't. You either gotta be like really locked in and just die in a daydream, or just over it.
That's
Over
what
life.
it was for me, because I was like, now I'm back in Maine and I don't know what to do. I was so lost then, and eventually I became an easy tech, and that's really when I look back on like every job I've had. I've always tried to be like the number one at whatever it is. So I was selling these Brother printers like crazy, and then selling protection plans on them as well. If anything happens to the printer, it's like if it dies in 2 years,
your extended warranty.
Yeah, exactly. And I slung so many Brother printers, which Brother is the best printer in my opinion. Laser.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, sold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anything about printers, man. You probably talked me into buying one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been thinking about getting a printer, dude.
I don't have a
We
printer.
need to
right
get
now.
a printer.
Yeah, like shipping labels and stuff, dude. I want to do some
Oh,
like
yeah.
custom VHS tapes at some point. Like I'd like to
Custom
have.
VHS.
Yeah, Tom and I have been talking about maybe putting out like a Weird Sisters VHS tape. We've been brainstorming that for a better part of a year now. Yeah, but it's about getting like the the printing done nicely on like the boxes and everything. Come up with a template and actually print onto some VHS tape boxes and make them.
How do you mass produce VHS tapes? Do you know?
It wouldn't be mass.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'd
we
be
would
us doing it with 20 VCRs.
Yeah, we would be
Well, yeah,
making
yes.
as many as we could and selling them as we could make them. The demand's not going to be massive, but I feel like people would buy them.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Won't be massive, but it'll be specific.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, it would just be like really fun for us to. That'd be just a fun project to work on. But I think the way to do it would be to like record maybe like 5 master tapes and then use those to make copies from, like on because we probably have like 10 to 15 VCRs like in the house right now. I could just wire them all up and hit record.
You're a VCR connoisseur.
Well, you see them, you gotta get them because like they don't always work. If you see a good deal, it's like you gotta try.
And it's also becoming a lot more popular now.
Really? Coming
Yeah,
back in style.
like CRTVs and VCRs. Mhm.
A couple of years ago, when I was still an Uber driver, I had this lady that had just opened up a VHS shop in Mount Juliet with her husband.
Really?
There's some kind of I don't know if they're still in business or not, but
Oh.
they specialized in VHS.
That's interesting. I would love to check that out. We ran into a shop in Florida when we were down there a couple months ago. There was like TV VCR repair service. They were really interesting to talk to, get some good information from, and then we got a spot that's helping us repair some equipment out in North Carolina that's been really cool with us. But there's nothing locally from what I know. I'd love to check that out.
Yeah, Mount
Yeah.
Juliet somewhere. I can't remember what the name of it was. Or if it even
Would
still
it be
exists.
Danger Zone Video and More? Maybe.
Is that in Mount Juliet?
It's on Lebanon Road, so it's a toss up.
Probably so.
Or
if it's
yeah,
on
actually,
Lebanon.
yeah, it is in Mount Juliet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because Lebanon goes all the way fucking out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we can do a little field trip one day.
Yeah, what are
Yeah.
you doing after this?
Yeah, we go check it out. Okay, so the next song we're gonna talk about here. Let's play Mystery Trips. Mystery Trips in the Night. Here it is. Okay, and we're back. Talk about mystery trips, because this is one that's been in the set for a minute, like Ultraviolet. When I was still in the band, you guys were still playing it.
Wow. Yeah. So that song, if we could have made it or released it as a single, we would have, because we love it that much. It's pretty long. We did some extended jamming in there too. But that's definitely like the heaviest song on the album. And it's one that I've always loved to play live. We wrote it a long time ago. What would you say? Like maybe,
I came up with the riff whenever I was living with Steve.
oh God, it's been that
Yeah,
long.
so like that's a 2016, 2017 riff.
Yeah. But it's evolved a lot over time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it really it became like a song deal until maybe like maybe something we came up during the pandemic, the big panic, you know. But yeah, the recording itself was it's one you just band in a room. We recorded that, you know.
So like the second or third
place.
take?
Second take, yeah. First take we
Yeah.
didn't finish. Like Adam got halfway through his drum solo and he was like, "Nah, but one more. Just let me do one more." And then we just banged it out. Which, you know, it's just us, Adam Avershoff on the
And Zim.
drums and Michael Zimmerman playing the bass. And yeah, just live in the room. I think January.
Last year?
Yeah, last year we tracked Gone, Ultraviolet, and Mystery Trips that day. We didn't use that take Ultraviolet. We actually recorded it again. We had Heather Thomas play the drums. She plays drums on that song. But yeah, Mystery Trips is one fucking take, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was. We're really proud of that because it just, you know, that really. Well, for a live band, it's like we have to have. We pride ourselves on like just the chemistry. No matter who's playing bass or drums, it's like we want to get to that point with chemistry with playing with anybody. And actually playing with a variety of people kind of makes that a lot easier.
Yeah.
Just, you know, we can as musicians, I feel like we
keeps
can
us
read other
It
musicians.
keeps us sharp and
Yeah, exactly.
also really keeps the music fresh and the ideas keep coming, and it makes it interesting for us as well.
Yeah.
So when you have to teach someone new a song and you revisit it, even though you've played it a million times, you'll tweak it and find new things that you want to explore.
Well, I remember when I played with you guys, there was always little things that you were adding in where it's like, hey, this rehearsal, we're going to try this.
Yeah.
It's like one little part after, I don't know, a chorus or something like that. So it was like very detail oriented in what you guys do, and you change things up. And to kind of go back to Mystery Trips,
Yeah.
the first show that I played with you guys in Clarksville, we were playing Mystery Trips and the power went out. Do you
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the guy tripped over the power cable.
Yeah, and then Isaac yelled, "Christian drum solo."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Christian just wore it out. Yeah, that was probably the first drum solo on Mystery Trips.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is funny.
Yeah,
I think that's the night that my bass amp first started taking a shit too.
that was our first gig together.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
our first gig together.
And then
yeah.
it really took a shit. Was it at the dive show?
At the end.
You know,
At the end,
yeah.
that's right.
That was when it was done after that.
Yeah.
I love playing the end. I want to play there again.
Yeah, that was honestly a
point.
fun show.
Dude, that was one of I actually that show in particular I look back on really fondly. That was just there was a Liquid Light show there that night. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Like everything about that night was fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. We were on stage and my amp had just shit and I was like, fuck, what do I do? I was freaking the fuck out. And then one of the bass players for the other band, I can't remember who it was, he had like a big fucking stack and he let me use that. And I
Yeah.
cranked it up. I felt like that. Yeah, that was a good show. I was white knuckling for a second just because I was thrown off. And it was a lot happening at once, but we got through it.
Dude, those are the best gigs sometimes though. Like if you just get to a venue right as you're like man, we got just load from the trailer onto the stage or something. Like those ones for us have kind of been like when you're under the guns, everything's going wrong, have kind of been the best ones. The worst ones for us, I think, is when like, you know, you have like a lot of time to prepare and like
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah, it's like,
the
oh, we got a
sound
3-hour
check.
sound check.
Oh.
You know, we can just run through everything.
Yeah.
And then you get up on stage and for whatever reason, like, oh, now you got FM coming through the bass amp, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
some bullshit.
yeah, just some bullshit.
There's
yeah.
always some
Yeah,
bullshit.
there's always some bullshit, but it's
No
like,
matter
if you have
what.
the odds stacked against you, that's like, I think that's when we're at our best.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, you know, I think that's our story in Nashville for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. What about, I think the next one's Moon Eclipse.
Mm.
Here, let me see. Yeah, Moon Eclipse. Here, let's play it.
I see the light. I see the light. I see the light. I see the light. Blue with reflections of sight, the prism of all that is right, refracting it cut like a knife. I might dislike myself. My shell is only what I let it be. Oh well, what's wealth if I'm not proud to share me? I see the light. I see the light. I see the light. Wonder who I'm meant to be. Is nature one big harmony? Do I choose my own frequency? Ability responds subtly. Responsibility rides all of key. I see the light. I see the light.
And we're back. So this song has a special tuning on it, right?
Yeah.
This is the acid tuning.
This is the acid tuning.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the way it was written was like, so we were at the old house, the Greycroft, and Isaac's playing acoustic guitar, and he's just walking around. And me and Evan, our buddy, we were just kind of like...
Evan Bailey.
Yep, we're just following him around and kind of like hounding him or bugging him or whatever. And then finally he's like, fuck off, I need to just lay this down. So then he lays it down. And it's acoustic guitar, but then when I add my synth, it's just so interesting to have like that acoustic sound, but then have synthesizer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have all these crazy vocal layers.
Well, it's really pretty sounding.
Yeah, it's one
Thank
of
you.
my, I think it's my favorite on the record.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's
it
a
means a
special
lot to
song.
me.
It's
the
either
song.
that or bells for me.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Those two. It's a great shoot. A great pick, man. Oh, but yeah, that song's really crazy because like I recorded it with Jeff Alvarez, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which, yeah, dude, Alvarez's are sweet acoustic guitars, for those who don't know. But it was we kept forgetting that song existed because that was at the Greycroft. And I recorded it on Luna. It was when that Luna, the DAW, first came out. It wasn't a Pro Tools project. So whenever we go through all the, I got a couple things on Luna. I pulled that up and I was really surprised to like find that song because I don't really remember recording your synthesizer. I know that we did at the old house.
Those
but
vocals are with the new house.
at the
right?
new house, yeah.
Mhm.
But we had just forgot that song existed. It was basically done minus her vocal part. Yeah, whenever we pulled it up, like when we were working on this record, it was like, okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna finish that. And I think we immediately just recorded your vocal parts on the fly.
I don't even know how I made those either.
Yeah, that
'cause
was
there's
like
some
an
of
hour.
the weirdest harmonies like ever.
Well, what I love about the new album is that you have a lot of vocals on the record,
Yeah.
and you sound great. Like
Thanks,
in particularly on Shirley, you know. And this song, it kind of reminds me of reincarnation a little bit, and just the cycle of life from start to finish. That's my interpretation of it.
You actually nailed it. That's what
Yeah.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It's the thing that I love is like you guys keep growing and evolving, and there's like little glimpses, I feel like, of what you're gonna do 3 years down the line from just one little thing that you do in one song. You know what I mean? Where it's like one little detail that one of you has, and you're like, here, let's do hits this way, or let's use this chord here, and then it makes logical sense the way that you guys have progressed so far. At least from my perspective,
Thank
as
you, man.
someone who has been a fan of the band and was for a time an honorary Weird Sister and played with you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
It always seems like there's like a little offshoot to the future that happens in a brief moment, even if it gets passed over.
Breadcrumbs, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah, it's I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I mean, this record's weird because I think we're both so stoked about it. We were hanging out with somebody the other day and it's like, man, do you mind if I put it on the record? And I was like, dude, put it on the record. I'm not tired of hearing it yet. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it. I want to share it with everybody. We worked really hard on it, and like, you know, we just had because we recorded it ourselves. Like every experience of recording it was really awesome. Like it was lovely to work with Christian. You know, I mean, I should mention he played drums on Secret Sensation. Like that's a live take. We put up the drum machine in the room, and him and Robert played live to the drum machine, and we recorded it, and we grabbed that live take and we built everything off of that, so that there still is that live energy. And that's just not something that like regular musicians, I think, can do. And like the musicians that are on this record, like Christian, you know, Robert Hudson, Michael Zimmerman, Adam Abershoff, and Heather Thomas, like they're all beastly musicians. It was great to work with them and be able to record them, and you know, they were all humble and cool enough to like try a lot of our ideas, and like I feel like we were pretty receptive to theirs too.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it was just like a wicked process, and then to also have something that nobody put their thumb in this pie. We mixed it with Mike. but I mean, Mike mixed it with us. Essentially, he mixed it with us. But
Michael Fahey.
yeah.
We were just we were sitting there with him, and
Yeah, we were just in the room together. He did all the heavy lifting for that. He made
Yeah.
it sound the way that it sounds. I don't want to make it sound like we put.
I love
had a
Michael
specific
Fahey.
input,
He's
but
fantastic.
He's the best.
it's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Sonically as well.
Oh yeah,
As a person and sonically. He's not a dick.
He's a man
No.
among dudes and a dudes among men. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
Hell yeah.
yeah, it just all came together in such a way. It's like we've never really been overtly proud of some of our previous releases because we didn't get there in the end for whatever reason.
Well, I feel like
Yeah.
with this record, the first thing that I noticed on first listen, because what you sent me one track the whole way through, so I listened to it the whole way through. I just put on my headphones and laid in my bed and looked up at the ceiling while I listened to it.
That's what I wanted. That's why I sent it to you that way.
Yeah. And it's a headphone record. B, it's a producer's record.
Yeah.
Again, just my opinion, what I took from it. And I think that's really exciting. It seems like the attention to detail that you both have is just continuing to improve, and you're honing that skill.
Thanks, man. That's really what we want to be doing right now is making as many records as we can. Yeah, 'cause we're pretty much gotta lay down a couple more tracks and then we'll be ready for the next one.
Yep, the next album
Yeah.
will be done by summertime. I don't know when it'll come out, but it'll be done.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, but we've been having so much fun just like kind of exploring the producing too. I mean, like, you know, I think her being a conductor really has like what a skill to be able to bring to the table as far as just arranging in general, you know. Like that's a crazy thing to have like on our team, the fact that you're just a secret conductor too. Yeah.
Well, thanks, bud.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, Gabby and Izaac, thank you so much for coming on.
We did it.
Thanks
We
for
did
having
it.
us.
We finally made it happen. Of course. Happy to have you. Keep on dreaming. See you next week.